A few weeks ago, WEme reached out and asked if I could do a showcase of their dual bay external hard drive docking station, model MST006. Their timing couldn't have been better. I was in need of cloning an old defective SSD to get my mom's computer back up and running. More on that in a bit. I took them up on it and they shipped me one to showcase. First off, the packaging includes the docking station, a dust cover for the dock, something simple that is sorely missing from other hard drive docking stations. Although you may have to cut a flap out so you don't have to disconnect the dock to cover it. There's a 12 volt 3 amp wall adapter and a beefy 3.3 foot or 1 meter USB 3.0 Type A data cable. A Type C is also available. The docking station has a very subtle and compact design, allowing it to feel right at home pretty much anywhere. I like that there's only a small strip of glossy plastic along the top. For now though, I'll leave the protective layer as I still don't want fingerprints all over it. The rubber feet on the bottom make sure the dock doesn't move around, especially while your drives are spinning. Finally, the simple LED layout and one button operation makes offline cloning as easy as it gets. With support for 2 SATA drives of the 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch variety with capacities up to 12 terabytes, you can move absolutely tons of data in one fell swoop using the built-in cloning function. A couple key things to remember before cloning a drive. First, the capacity of the drive you're moving data to, the target, needs to be larger than the one you are copying from, the source. For instance, if the source drive has a capacity of 500 gigabytes, the target drive capacity should be something like 1 terabyte or larger. Secondly, if there is any data on the target drive, you should back it up somewhere else first, as all data on the target drive will be overwritten during the cloning process. The setup for offline cloning is very simple. Plug in the power to the wall, slide in your storage devices, making sure to put in the drive that is being cloned, the source, into slot A, and the drive the data will be copied to, the target, in slot B. Now you can turn on the dock by pressing the power button on the back. You'll know everything is set when the power LED lights up, along with the LEDs for slots A and B. To start the cloning process, hold down the clone button for about 3 seconds, at which point the 100% progress LED will light up, indicating the cloning process is ready. Now press the clone button again while that LED is still on, and sit back. While the cloning process runs, the progress LEDs will flash and go solid as each step is completed, going from 25% to 50% to 75% to 100%. Once the 100% progress LED is solid, the cloning process is complete. In my case, I was copying roughly 63 gigs of data from an older 120 gig SSD that stopped being recognized in the BIOS for some reason into a newer 240 gig SSD. This took about 17 minutes for me, but obviously larger capacities will take longer to complete. One nice feature of the dock is if you do leave it alone for a while and it completes a clone, it will automatically power down after 30 minutes, so it doesn't needlessly use electricity. One more thing to remember is that it's best to power off the dock before removing or inserting any storage devices. Once the clone was done, I was able to pop in the new drive into my mom's computer and she was able to pick up right where she left off when the old SSD stopped working. To use the dock as an external storage device, simply hook it up with the provided USB cable to your computer or Mac. When you power it on, any drives you have inserted will appear on your computer alongside your internal drives. To best represent some real-world transfers, I created a 1.5 gigabyte file package with almost 2,000 files that consisted of sizable videos and a large hierarchy of smaller files like Word docs, spreadsheets, pictures, etc. Doing some file transfer tests with an old SanDisk SSD slotted in place shows transfer speeds up to 150 megabits per second or 1.2 gigabits per second in both directions, dropping off a bit near the end as it hit all the smaller files. These are pretty respectable real-world speeds for this old SSD. I believe this is thanks to the UASP protocols in place. Now that wraps up my showcase of the WEme hard drive dock. It is a great little companion for anyone that needs to create clones or hook up large capacity drives without having to take apart the